Hi, welcome back to this YouTube channel. I have a really exciting book haul video for you today. I'm caffeinated. I don't know if you can feel it. You will feel it soon. Lots of new books that I wanted to talk to you about, but I was waiting for one package to arrive because I recently, from two of my favorite book people and just general life friends now, have sent me books. I just love you both. So both Renee from So I Read This Book in New Zealand sent me 4 books, and Simon Savage from Savage Reads also sent me 2 books and tea. And that package was arriving today, so I wanted to wait for that to arrive before I share also books that I bought when I was in Italy visiting my family. And then I had a gift card that my partner Ohad got me for Christmas, so I used that, and then I went to the used bookstore. So I think there's about 17 books to talk about. Simon sent me British tea, okay? This is Yorkshire Gold. Fun fact about me, like I always wanted to be British. Like I would like to talk in a British accent when I was younger. And I still like do among friends, which is probably so cringy for anyone that's actually British. Yeah, like I want to dress like Princess Diana. I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. 2 funky flavors, toast and jam and malty biscuit. This tea is supposed to taste like jam on toast. Thank you, Simon, for the tea. And he sent me also 2 books. Oh, look at this stack. Of course, I put those 2 books at the bottom. These, he said, are, what did he say? Also, love the Lady Chatterley's Lover postcard. These books are 2 quirky gems from a local publisher and bookshop in Liverpool. So this is from a publisher called Dead Ink Books. He sent me these 2. So this is Naomi Booth, Animals at Night. I love animals and I love the nighttime, okay? And I love this cover. The night invites strange happenings, strange meetings, strange thoughts. A grieving widow encounters an injured jellyfish on a deserted beach. A young woman can't shake the image of a dying hare she finds at the side of the road. A dairy farmer hears the herd bellow with fear at night. Nocturnal meetings between humans and other animals in an eagerly anticipated first collection of short fiction. Can't wait. Then this one by Mariachi Big called Waiting for Ted. Told in a series of reflections over the course of an evening spent waiting for Ted, Rosie charts her relationship's downfall, how she drifted from her only friend, how she contributed to the breakdown in her parents' marriage, and how she never really let Ted into her perfect world. As she does, it becomes increasingly clear to the reader that Ted may not be coming home at all. So seems like a falling apart of a marriage, which I like. Then let's talk about the books that Renee sent me from New Zealand. She spoiled me with this stack, literally. Oh my God. Okay, she sent me 4 books. The first one, Welcome to America by Linda Bostrom Knausgaard. A family on the brink of silence. Ellen has stopped talking. She thinks she may have killed her dad. Her brother has barricaded himself in his room. Their mother, a successful actress, carries on as normal. Welcome to America is an exquisite portrait of a sensitive, strong-willed child in the throes of trauma, a family on the brink of implosion, and the love that threatens to tear them apart. So, first person, I think, child narrator, done really well. She liked this book a lot. Yeah, and I've been wanting to read it, also because it's tiny, so really excited for that. Then she sent me Spring by Ali Smith. I love Ali Smith. I have read Autumn and Winter, and I've been wanting to read Spring, and I think I mentioned to her that I really wanted to read it in a physical, in the physical book. What unites Catherine Mansfield, Cherry Chaplin, Shakespeare, Rilke, Beethoven, Brexit, the present, the past, the north, the south, the east, the west, a man mourning lost times, a woman trapped in modern times, Spring, the great connective, This is the impossible tale of an impossible time. Then we have Asylum Road by Olivia Sujic. I've been wanting to read this for so long. So many people have told me that I would like it. I think Rebecca also told me I would really love it. A couple drive from London to coastal Provence. Anya is preoccupied with what she feels is a relationship on the verge, unequal, precarious. Luke, reserved, stoic, gives away nothing. As the sun sets one evening, he proposes and they return to London engaged. Lean, sly, unsettling, Asylum Road is about the many borders governing our lives between men and women, assimilation and otherness, nations, families, order and chaos. What happens and who do we become when they break down? So another relationship breaking down story is to be really visceral. So I'm excited for that. She sent me her favorite book, one of her favorite books this past year, which was Too Much and Not the Mood by Durga Chu Bose. This is by FSG, and these are essays by Durga Chu Bose, who I have not read, but I've heard about this book so much from more people also that I love and whose taste is normally really similar to mine. So I cannot wait to read this. When I'm in the mood for essays, I'm gonna go straight here. So thank you so much, Renee and Simon, for those like BookTube friend gifts. Where to go next? I think let's talk about books that I bought while I was abroad. My parents gave me Amina Kane's book about writing and reading, which is called A Horse at Night, and I just loved that book. Where is it? Or something, or it's over there. I'm working on a vlog about that, so you'll see that eventually. That was amazing. That was the best book to start off the year with. They got me 3 books from the New York Review of Books sale that was going on. So this is Slow Days, Fast Company, The World, the Flesh, and LA by Eve Babbitt. Yes, Eve Babbitt is giving us those LA vibes, those Hollywood parties. It says, no one burned hotter than Eve Babbitt. So, gotta read her. Don't Look Now by Daphne du Maurier. I have spoken about this in another vlog. Have I spoken about these in another vlog? Okay, I'm sorry if this is repeat. You can move forward in the video if you are already familiar. Daphne du Maurier wrote Rebecca, My Cousin Rachel, some great creepy classics. And these are her short stories, including The Birds, which you would know from the Hitchcock film. I am about a third of it in. Because it's short stories, I'm like dipping in and out of it, but I'm loving this so much. It's like haunting, creepy, super compelling. Like if I'm gonna read fiction, like fiction, plot, story, and not like, I don't know, like some of the other plotless things I like to read. But if I'm gonna go for like story, she does it so well. I have to read Rebecca. That's a classic. So Daphne du Maurier. And then this one I'm so excited about. Woman Running in the Mountains by Yuko Tsushima. Introduction by Lauren Groff. This is translated from the Japanese. I guess it's about a woman who gives birth, and it's like her pregnancy was the result of a brief affair with a married man, and she's like really shamed by her parents. She seeks refuge in the company of other women in the hospital and in the nursery of her son, and ventures beyond the city into the countryside toward a mountain that captures her imagination and desire for a wilder freedom. Women Running in the Mountains captures the private intensity of early motherhood like none other. That's by Rivka Galchen. I loved the cover. I love the title, Women Running in the Mountains. So I'm really excited to read that. Some books that I purchased while in Italy on my own What Are You Going Through by Sigrid Nunez. I loved The Friend so much last year. If you watched my best books of 2022, The Friend was on there. And I have to read more Sigrid Nunez, so I saw this one. The woman at the heart of this unforgettable novel finds that everyone she meets has a common need to have an audience for their experiences, and so she tries to pay attention, to imagine, and listen to what those around her are going through. But then an old friend makes an extraordinary request and draws her into an intense and transformative experience of her own. I know it's gonna be good because Sigrid Nunez is so good. It reminds me of Outline by Rachel Cusk, like a bunch of people that she meets, like needing to tell her about their experiences in their lives. Yeah, can't wait to read that. Then we have Jeanette Winterson, Written on the Body. I saw this and I had to get it because, speaking of last year's reading, I loved her book, Sexy and a Cherry, and I told myself I have to read like everything she's ever written. So Written on the Body, in a quiet English suburb, a love affair ignites. For our nameless narrator, Louise is the last in a long line of explosive passions, but the first to have broken their heart. With Louise's husband, Elgin, blocking love's course, their affair is doomed to unravel. Until that is, a terrible choice must be made. With its witty and masterful prose, Written on the Body takes the reader on a beguiling and defying exploration of love and its physical forms. Rebecca Eats Books said that this was like so fucking sexy and hot and erotic, and so did Katie James. They both really, really loved this. So, I mean, this has got to like happen soon. I have to read that really soon. And then I picked up Annie Ernaux, Happening. I've read a lot of Annie Ernaux, and to be completely honest, I haven't really loved it as much as whoa, the light's doing something weird. I haven't really loved her books as much as I wanted to. Like Simple Passion was okay for me, and I know some people like really rave about that book, and it was fine. It was fine. I always feel her books are like important, but fine, in my opinion. But I keep trying, and I want to I think that there's a lot of merit in reading her work. And of course she won the Nobel Prize for Literature this past year. Happening is about her experience at 23 years old in 1963 in France when she realizes she's pregnant and she wants to get an abortion where it was illegal. So place where that's illegal, how can she do it? And I guess it shifts between like her memories of that time and then also journal entries that she wrote when she was 23 at the time, and it's going kind of back and forth between those points in time. Also with everything unfortunately happening regarding abortion right now, I think that this is really important to read. Okay, I had a gift card and I got these two books when I got back to Tel Aviv. So I first wanted to read a classic. If you have classics recommendation, please let me know. I'm not familiar with reading classics, and I do want to. So this is Orlando by Virginia Woolf. I've never read any Virginia Woolf actually, and I'm sure that people who are familiar with her work would tell me like all different kinds of places to start with her. I'm sure someone would say this is not it. I just know Orlando from the film with Tilda Swinton. That was just absolutely magnificent. And I like, how it plays with gender, a character named Orlando. And one day he wakes up and instead of being a lord in an Elizabethan court, he wakes up as a woman in 1920s London. So I like the gender play here a lot. Phone died, so I switched to the camera. Been talking with Katie James a lot about Olivia Lang, and we had been talking about Olivia Lang also in our book club group message. And she was saying how much she loves Everybody, a book about freedom. I think this is Olivia Lang's newest book. The body is a source of pleasure and of pain, at once hopelessly vulnerable and radiant with power. In her ambitious, brilliant sixth book, Olivia Lang charts an electrifying course through the long struggle for bodily freedom, using the life of the renegade psychoanalyst Wilhelm Reich to explore gay rights and sexual liberation, feminism, and the civil rights movement. Arriving at a moment in which basic bodily rights are once again imperiled, as we just spoke about with abortion, everybody is an investigation into the forces arranged against freedom and a celebration of how ordinary human bodies can resist oppression and reshape the world. I also got this on audio, on Scribd, but I was told that I need the physical copy to annotate because I'm gonna just wanna like write everywhere. We're approaching the end. Books that I got secondhand. The Body Artist by Don DeLillo. Don DeLillo is like an amazing, very prolific American writer. He's like known as one of the greatest American novelists. And this is his 12th book. Never read anything of Don DeLillo. As we know, I don't really read very many men. There's not a lot of male authors on my shelves, and if they are men, they're LGBTQ adjacent or minority writers or a type of own voice writer. I don't read a lot of white, cis, straight men. Anyway, I read this already since buying it, and it was fucking magnificent. I'm going to talk about this in another video. Either in a wrap-up video or in a vlog or something. This blew me away. Wow. It's about a performance artist who loses her husband to suicide, and it's kind of her grief. It's like her grieving in solitude, and the presence within that absence that takes a form of like another person that kind of shows up where she's living. Very strange. Kind of like a ghost story. Brilliant. Oh, sorry, let's go back. I also bought this in Rome. It's on the bottom of my stack because I'm currently reading it now. This is Delphi by Clara Pollard. Clara Pollard is a poet, and this is her first novel, a COVID novel. So she's looking at the COVID pandemic through the lens of Greek myth and prophecies, and the kind of ways in which in ancient Greek myth and history, how the future is looked at or told. So she's using that device in order to, can you tell I'm not really well versed in, I like anything that's Greek, like ancient Greek, but I obviously like never studied it formally, so I don't know what I'm saying when I say all these things. Fortune telling and future telling, to look at what will be the future when COVID became the whole world's situation. 2020, and in a time more turbulent than any of us could ever imagine, a woman is attempting to write a book about prophecy in the ancient world. So I'm about 46 pages in, and I'm really enjoying so far. Last 3 books, these are from the used bookstore, and I know nothing about any of them, other than 2 of them come by authors that I absolutely love. One being Siri Hustvedt. I read last year, The Summer Without Men, and enjoyed it so much. And I saw this one, which has a really great cover. It's called The Blindfold, and I think it's her debut novel, is it? At the bottom it says an extraordinary first novel. The Blindfold is a riveting account of one woman's search for identity within a maze of images imposed on her by others. Iris, vegan and impoverished graduate student in New York City, is hired by an urban recluse to provide insanely precise verbal descriptions of the possessions of a murdered woman. A photographer's portrait of her takes on an eerie life of its own. Iris, hospitalized for migraines, shares a room with a neurologically devastated woman and finds in her uncanny echoes of her own shattered existence. Finally, a novel she's helping to translate invades her life and sends her into the city's nighttime demi-monde to act out its brutal themes. Okay, that's a lot. I know nothing other than that. Oh, it's blurbed by Don DeLillo on the back. This is a work of dizzying intensity. Very intrigued. Then my favorite book last year, if you have watched me at all, was The Stillest Day by Josephine Hart. And I found another Josephine Hart in the same bookshop where I found The Stillest Day, and this is Oblivion. Dark and deeply felt story of grief and its stark power to destroy and redeem. Laura is dead, but she will not go away. Her mother is torn apart by grief, and her husband is haunted by Laura's presence, even when he makes love to another woman. The dead, in this powerful novel by the best-selling author of Damage, have voices of their own. The living must be ruthless to survive. Happiness is a decision. Make it and don't cry. Anything that Josephine Hart has ever written, I will read. She's unfortunately no longer alive, so I just have to read everything from her backlist. And this is like a random nonfiction book. I'm acting in a short film at the end of the month, and so I saw this, which is Konstantin Stanislavski's book. An actor prepares. He's like a very, very famous and like I don't think there's been a greater influence on acting than him. And in this, he deals with the inward preparation an actor must undergo in order to explore the role to its full capacity. It's one of the only like comprehensive theory about acting that we have in book form. So yeah, I'm interested in acting more, and it's difficult for me to find an acting class here where I live because the main language is not English. Which I can't take an acting class in another language. So I thought, like, at least while I'm here, I could read this and maybe it would give me some insight or just nice tools or things to think about. That was really long, I'm sure longer than I hoped for, but that's a lot of books. Oh, tell me what I should read next. Also, I'm really grateful that a lot of these books were gifts. So thank you to all of you, including my beautiful parents who gave me life. Oh, my puppy. He's currently laying on his back with his legs open and arms like this. I'm gonna go make myself a cup of tea and go to work a little bit later. Okay, ciao, bye.